Well, what a fabulous day to be playing around on a motorbike in New Zealand. I'm just south of Geraldine now, having left my B&B. Lovely people that I stayed with last night at Mockingbird Hill. But anyway, I'm heading now south to try and find something there will be of an interest, especially to those Americans that watch this program. This road is I didn't get the name of it, but it said it's not suitable for heavy vehicles. So that sounds like us, doesn't it? Isn't this lovely rolling farm country? Who's that down there riding on the bloody shadow with me? Some retired fool. Oh, in and out of a gully here. This is why they're saying she's not suitable for heavy traffic. But look at the marks on the ground. She's all heavy traffic that's come through here. Not knowing this area at all, really, I just do a bit of navigation utilising the sun. It's rising in the east here, and that's directly behind me. Way up there is the Southern Alps, you see. Can't see the snow and all. Way down there is the sea. Ahead is the hills that run out at Waimate. So if I keep the sun on my back or over my left shoulder, that will get me in the rough direction I'm after. What I was after in here is where that fella Pearse had a farm, and he put together the aeroplane and flew around these little foothills here. The first man to have powered flight. Now it's like I have missed the monument, but never mind, you box on. See, the sun is over my left shoulder now, so I'm heading in the right direction. I use this method to navigate in all those strange countries I was in, especially in North Africa. But that's the beauty of adventure bikes. You go on adventures on them. I was filling my water bottles back at the last B&B there. Lovely crystal clear water, and I've got it in the back today because that's one of my faults. I don't bring enough juice with me. And I was telling them about an incident where I came across a big Pelton wheel it was, in the creek in a city close to a city called Fes in Morocco. I thought, that is special and that is old. I must go and investigate. So I trekked down a bloody rumpy old road there. I wasn't on a motorbike, what was I in? I'd hired a four-wheel drive. And down towards this big wheel we went. And to my right there was a shepherd there fetching in some sheep. And to my left there was a bloke fetching in some sheep. And I thought, they're bringing sheep in here to water them out of the desert. And I proceeded closer and closer to this big wheel, and as I got there you could see plastic all over it and rubbish all over this great big wheel. I thought, what the hell's going on? And only when I got within about 50 meters of it and could come to terms with what I was seeing in front of me, the smell assailed me. It was the sewage outlet for the city of Fes. And here these poor bloody sheep were being brought in to be watered. Oh, that would certainly put some flavour into the meat, wouldn't it? Here's Galbraith Road here. Look at this. Feel the ABS braking working? Toot, 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 toot. Just on the rear brake. Look at that. Another big valley there. I don't know what the river would be down in amongst there. say, he's got the firewood in for the winter. Up here on the ridge, probably a tree blew over on the farm, and he's been nibbling away at it and got it into the shed now. And that's it. Look at this lovely line of heifers here. Morning, girls. 18 months, do you think? How are you all? Yes, very nice. Spur Hut Road. We're on a new road again. I'll get up so you can see what's going on. Here's an apple tree. Let's see if we can get an apple. An apple for Smoko. Someone years ago has thrown an apple out the window and she sprouted. And look what's happened. Whoa, Betsy. We'll have that one. And that one. Thank you very much. That's a bonus, isn't it? I'll put them down there. Wonder if they'll get in the way there. No, they'll be right there. Well, I found the monument that I was looking to by default. I'd given up. But this is the replica, or roughly what the plane looked like that they developed in this area. Heavier than air flight. See the aileron on the other side there? A little engine in the front driving a propeller. A little bit of a tail rotor there. Up and down lift. Couple of little light wheels. This was an engineer that lived in this area. Let's read the monument. Richard William Pearce, 1877 to 1953. He died 1 year after I was born. The New Zealand pioneer aviator. This monument commemorates the first powered flight to be made by a British citizen in a heavier than air machine. Most evidence indicate that this flight took place on the 31st of March 1908 and ended by crashing on this site. Wow, that's a bit of history, isn't it? Now, if you were to travel all through America, you were to hear about the Wright brothers being the first to get the aircraft up in the air. But I haven't got me dates for when they said they flew. Here's a great big rotary milking shed. Looks pretty modern to me. You can have a look at it as I go past. All in undercover. Concrete yards, a bit of a feed trough there for them. Look at that. That wouldn't be much more than 4 or 5 years old. Well set out, right on this beautiful farming country here with irrigation beams going right round. I've swung down a little track here called River Road. That doesn't look too ominous for a bridge across here, but unless I go and have a look, we'll never know. Another dairy farm there. Sneak through here. There's no wires across the road to trip me up. Will blow me down. I was just coming along here and there's a lady with 2 dogs out giving her exercises. Told her what I was up to there, that I was looking at the Richard Pearce Memorial. She said, well, I'm a Pearce. I'm married into that family. And we live in the original house there that they were in. Isn't that a bit of, what would you call that? Providence or something like that, hey? I have to look that word up to see whether I got it right. Fancy that. So they're all in this area. She gave me directions to head on down here and you'll hit the main bridge. Would you get a look at that corn and that stump and that corn again? Fancy leaving it there in the corn paddock. You'd want to see that with the header, otherwise whammo. And just emphasise that we are in the Pearse's area, Pearse Road and River Road. Let's cut along River Road. It's a bit lovely to see all that irrigation happening there. So that works its way back towards the pump, which must be back over here somewhere. Clever. See, that one's a pivot arm. The pump is at the far end. It travels left or right. What prompted me to stop was a rainbow effect there. Here it appears now. I don't know whether you'll see it. Little rainbow effect there. Bad accident here. Let's go back and check if it's all right. A poor little hedgehog. Met his demise just there. Tried to get off the road, but there's not much hope of that, is there? Let's carry on. Here's a mob of dairy bulls. Dairy bulls, you see. Invariably Frisian. And these would be 18 months old. You see, the Frisians have left the nuts in them to make them grow out. And they'll take them to probably 3-year-olds to get a bit of meat on them. Frisians don't fill out like those Herefords and Aberdeen Angus. So my same principle applies. I just keep my shadow at 1 or 2 o'clock and I should be able to cut through this unfamiliar countryside here on these back roads and meet my objective of getting to my niece's house here over these few ridges. It says here 64 k's to her house, but this is pleasant enough rolling through here, isn't it? Now what a pleasant way to fill in a Saturday morning, isn't it? I don't need to stand up and ride aggressively because this road is beautiful. The centrepiece is behaving itself and my tyres are running. And so there's no sense in standing up, which gives you a better ride but uses more energy, you see. This area here, see, they've had a forest on there or grown a plantation and they've all gone off now. They got to come through with a big digger and root out those stumps or do a replanting there. I don't think that's turnips, but that's either vetch, they call it, V-E-T-C-H, vetch, something like that, or sugar beet. That's got more grunt than turnips and Swedes, eh? But I'll get to the bottom of what that fodder is, but you may have to wait a few videos before I get an enlightened one in front of me. Over the crest and down the hill. Bring her back on a bit of trail break here. Isn't this spectacular part of New Zealand? Keep an eye on it there. Magpies flying away. They're not familiar with motorbikes roaring through here. Geez, I thought this was a rhinoceros on the hill here, but it's not. It's two cows making out a bit bigger, isn't it? See there, it looked like a rhinoceros from a long way back. but it's just two cows giving the impression of an oversized beast. Let's give you a Bona Vista here off this point. That's a safer way to have a look at the landscape, is to stop and just do a slow panorama. Now in the previous video I was saying about macrocarpa, and you need to look after their legs and bring them up a bit to give you a good prune butt. Well, that's what this cocky's doing here. He's giving them all a lift. The ones on the end are the windbreaks, you know, so we just leave them a bit fluffy, and that protects the ones in further. This little plantation to the right here, Pinus radiata, again the bottom end's all done and the spacing's pretty good. Still a bit tight in there in some places, but that would be alright. They're much slower growing here on the Canterbury Hills than they are over on the west coast where I grew some, but those will be better quality timber here too, got a bit of strength to it, whereas the stuff on the coast is a softer wood. Hello, this house here reminds me of riding around in Italy. Look at that one there. The colours are right, the landscape's right. She's a big house, and for sale too if you want it. Well, I don't want it. Honouring the memory of the men of the Tycho district who gave their lives in the Great War, 1418. Several men from this area went away and sacrificed their lives. We thank them. A beautiful paddock of alpha. See, they have trees of Pinus radiata behind the house to provide a windbreak from the southerly winds. Lovely garden there that lady's got. This one here, very exposed to the south, north, east and west. But I suppose if you've got double glazing, it doesn't matter once you're inside. Here's another good one with a Bona Vista perch out over the valley. Look at that. Looking way down there. Keep your eye on the road, Elvin. Can you get a better scene than that there? Autumn, March. I wonder what he's rolled up in there. Some square bales and some round bales. You've got two options here. The big square bales, they're a different machine to bang them out. I don't know what the preference is. My mate Bernie Hurd went for a big square bale over an Aussie there, and I suppose one big advantage I can think of is transportation, is that they would stack better on a truck, wouldn't they? We're going down Cliffs Road now. Flax on my left. I wouldn't have thought you'd see flax up here on the ridge. Hello, look at these little pets here. Got a bit of Clydesdale about this one here. Big mare. Hello lady, how are you? Are you good? Not too much wrong with you either. What about your mate up here? Big gelding. Travel well, mate. So I was just chatting away there to a contractor, and he's sowing all these paddocks down here into grass seed. This side, that side there, and oh, he named all the grasses he's sowing in there, but he's amazed at the amount of moisture in the soil here. It should get a good strike, he reckons. Anyway, that was an interesting interlude talking to him. Will I or won't I? Hey, isn't that look like a beautiful zooping track there? I bet there's some jumps and bumps all over it. Let's have a quick look. These are square bales wrapped with this machine here. I'll come back on the better angle with the sun behind us. These are big contractors, I suppose, but they grab the bale and rappity rap rap rap. Silo tight is the name they're using. Look at the paddock of the conventional small bales. I wonder what they've baled up there. Potatoes by the look of it there to our right. Now, I wish that I knew where the hell I was. I think this GPS has taken a bloody seizure. It's got me in wonky bloody roads. But I suppose it knows what it's doing. But this doesn't look like the main road to Waimate, does it? There's Lucerne on the right hand side there. I'm looking for the White Horse on the hill, but it's still 42 kilometres away, so I wouldn't see it, I suppose. Don't know where the hell I am. And I'm too shy to ask anybody, of course. What are these? Merino ewes. Big leggy buggers, aren't they? Look alright too. But I'm on the wrong side of the road, so I better get back over on my side. Here we go. Give it up. Nothing coming that way. Nothing coming that way after that car. Oh, and that one, and that one, and that one. So we'll keep an eye on that corner and just see whether that's right. Jesus, here they come the other way too. Look, this way to Waimate. Give it up. Isn't that spectacular murals? And to utilise those towers like that, I think it's pretty clever. So my niece lives in this town here. I'll pop in and see if she's home, wet the whistle and say hello. Well, that was a lovely visit there with the Herberts at Waimate. Catch up with Louise and Gary. I'm rehydrated and ready for a ride back to Timaru. Let's go. Oh well, it's back to Timaru now. Around here, I'm going to catch up with my daughter and get up bed and breakfast for the night. Airbnb. So that signs off today. A bit short, but never mind. What a bloody spectacular ride through the back country of Timaru there, between Geraldine and Waimate. So over and out until the next video. I wonder what'll happen next.